Donald Trump, of course. Sarah Huckabee, we saw her spin on this yesterday. They said, how does he have time in a world of North Korea and healthcare to harass NFL players? I never liked those framing of those questions because, frankly, I mean, now because of the racism that drives it, obviously, the sports thing is not trivial. But I like, if Donald Trump spent 4 years harassing like Arnold Schwarzenegger for failing at the Apprentice ratings instead of talking about North Korea, I think that would be one of the least damaging scenarios imaginable for this fucking mental case.
Just create a Truman Show style presidency where he deals with fake things all day.
Honestly, the best strategy, we either want to call it a Truman Show presidency or in 30 Rock when Tracy Morgan thought he was really on a rocket, whatever you want to occupy this idiot. And I agree with Sean. There's a paradox. He's a total moron, but he has a real instinct for racism. I mean, think of one of the only altruistic, I forget maybe who was, I don't remember who was making this point, but like one of the only things that Donald Trump ever did that was like not either a one-to-one he got something when he put something forward or just straight up like ripping somebody else off was putting an op-ed in the paper about the Central Park Five. That apparently the check cleared and he got that message out there.
And that wasn't counterpunching.
No, that was not counter. That wasn't. The Central Park didn't say something bad about me, so I said something bad about them.
I just don't like black kids.
I just don't like black kids. And he never apologized about it, even though they were completely exonerated. So his North Stars are obviously, grotesque, narcissism and everything, narcissism and being a horrific human. And part and parcel of that is obviously his misogyny and his racism. So that is the NFL thing. And here he is, taking the same question that Sarah Huckabee had about how he uses his time and harassing NFL players. And there's some pretty fun tells in this one.
Well, I wasn't preoccupied with the NFL. I was ashamed of what was taking place because to me that was a very important moment. I don't think you can disrespect our country, our flag, our national anthem. To me, the NFL situation is a very important situation. I've heard that before. About was I preoccupied? Not at all. Not at all. I have plenty of time on my hands. All I do is work. And to be honest with you, that's an important function of working. It's called respect for our country. Many people have died. Many, many people. Many people are so horribly injured. I was at Walter Reed Hospital recently, and I saw so many great young people, and they're missing legs, and they're missing arms, and they've been so badly injured. And they were fighting for our country. They were fighting for our flag. They were fighting for our national anthem.
3 steps there.
And for people to disrespect that by kneeling during the playing of our national anthem, I think is disgraceful. It doesn't take me long to put out a wrong, and maybe we'll get it right. I think it's a very important thing for the NFL to not allow people to kneel during the playing of our national anthem, to respect our country and to respect our flag.
I have all the time in the world. I work all the time. I've got nothing but time because I'm always working.
To do all this work that I'm doing.
Yeah.
I had a clear time in my schedule for working, I mean.
Yeah, it's not just clear, open workspace.
Clear time to sit where Fox and Friends is on,
yeah,
which is work.
Yeah, it's work. I just, when you think, get to some of this in a second about, we'll just say this Sean Ealing, military veteran, he said, I'm fighting for the Constitution, not a flag, not a song. Also, other people are fighting because their economic circumstances force them, essentially, to risk their lives. There's a lot of reasons that people are fighting. And then, it does strike me, what, and I know I discussed with Bhaskar the problems I have, and he had with the Ta-Nehisi Coates piece about Trump, and you can look that up if you're interested. I won't get into all of it now, but he his existence is such a walking insult to everybody that has had to do anything to get where they are in any capacity. And just the notion that, like, you know, I mean, on a very, like, take just like a kid that needed to, like, get loans and, you know, work through college and actually do something, right? And this guy being the position of president is just offensive. And then you think about, you know, Barack Obama just as a cultural force and a guy who was, you know, everything that we supposedly would ask of these of what in some ways is both obviously CEO and an incredibly empowered chief executive, but then also in some respects holds a, you know, cultural and ceremonial role. I mean, just a guy was like, you know, hey, Barack wore like a suit that was disrespectful at that press briefing, or he needs to chew Nicorette gum, or, you know, it's like, this guy is like relentlessly, he's intelligent, he's self-made, he's articulate, he's got a great family, he never, you know, he's like deals with constant bullshit and disrespect and racism and keeps his cool. It just goes and goes and goes, and then also has way more, I think, in many ways, misplaced trust in some American technocratic, meritocratic mythology than like anybody. And he does it, and he pulls it together, and just this incredible historic triumph in the context of this society of being the first black president. And then it's just followed up by a guy who's just like, maybe I talked about wanting to fuck my daughter on like Star Jones's show. And like, Vanka's a total piece of ass, Howard. And by the way, those son of a bitches should get on the field and show a little bit of respect. I mean, it's just, he talks about respect. The very actuality of this fucking guy's existence is disrespect to every person of color in this country, to every woman in this country, to everybody who's ever had to work for anything. This scumbag, trust fund baby, unethical, dishonest, scamster, racist, xenophobic, stupid, arrogant, insecure, unstable. I mean, he has multiple sub-personalities, and they're all horrible. It's just, I mean, I don't indulge in much of this, and I try not to, like, overhype the Trump personality. And obviously, I've always found, particularly when he's, you know, dunking on a Lindsey Graham like he did in the primaries, and stuff he said about Iraq was great, and he totally can be funny. But there are those moments, especially when he's going to go after someone like Colin Kaepernick, who demonstrates, you know, Colin Kaepernick is just a superior human specimen by every conceivable metric. And this asshole, who doesn't like belong managing like a chain of regional restaurants, is on TV using the fucking presidential seal to essentially say, hey, get out there and play, boy. It's just disgusting. It's so disgusting. It's such an insult.
Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos